In 2023, the world faced unprecedented climate challenges, yet positive strides were made. Join us as we unravel the significant environmental milestones globally and in India. From climate action to conservation efforts, what happened in 2023? Let's find out.
The world faced a climate tipping point with global temperatures surpassing previous records. Amid concerns, positive strides were made. COP28 climate meeting delivered some important outcomes. A first-time acknowledgement of the need to move away from fossil fuels. A first promise to reduce methane emissions, operationalization and capitalization of the Loss and Damage Fund, and an agreement on a framework for the global goal on adaptation.
Now let's look into some of the key outcomes around the globe. The US witnessed a record clean energy spending, the EU pledged to halt deforestation-linked imports, and the Brazil's commitment led to a sharp drop in Amazon deforestation. Let's get you more in this report.
As the Earth faced an unprecedented challenge, 2023 emerged as the hottest year on record, setting new temperature records. The World Meteorological Organization's data revealed a 0.05 degree centigrade increase from 2016, raising concerns about breaching the 1.5 degrees Celsius limit set by the Paris Agreement.
We are miles from the goals of the Paris Agreement and minutes to midnight for the 1.5 degree limit. But it is not too late. We can, you can prevent planetary crash and burn. We have the technologies to avoid the worst of climate chaos if we act now.
Good evening.
After 4 decades of negotiations, countries reached a historic agreement with the High Seas Treaty. Covering half of the Earth's surface and 95% of the ocean's volume, the treaty aims to promote equity, tackle environmental degradation, combat climate change, and prevent biodiversity loss in the high seas. Amid the climate crisis, 2023 witnessed remarkable global initiatives. The Inflation Reduction Act in the US injected $369 billion into clean energy and emission reduction, marking the largest climate investment in US history. Clean energy manufacturing received a boost with over $110 billion in new investments, propelling the green transition.
President Biden and I have made the largest climate investment in the history of our country, and some have said the world. Roughly $1 trillion over the next 10 years. As a result, today, across the United States, we are building and expanding hundreds of solar panel, wind turbine, electric vehicle, and battery manufacturing plants.
The European Union, in a groundbreaking move, halted imports linked to deforestation. The new regulation, in force since June 2023, mandates proof that commodities like soy, beef, and palm oil are not tied to recent deforestation. This commitment signals a shift towards sustainable practices, addressing the EU's role as the second largest importer of deforestation-linked products. Positive news echoed from Brazil as the rate of deforestation in the Amazon plummeted. Brazil's commitment to halt deforestation by 2030 yielded tangible results, showcasing the impact of provocative environmental policies. Similar progress was observed in Colombia, reflecting a return to successful strategies that curbed deforestation in the past.
At COP28, world leaders transformed climate finance with a $100 billion annual fund for loss and damage. The COP28 agreement sets a groundbreaking goal to move away from fossil fuel, ushering in a new era in global climate policy.
In a historic move at COP28 in the UAE, world leaders spearheaded transformative actions in climate change. The launch of a long overdue $100 billion annual fund for loss and damage caused by climate change signals a turning point, answering the calls of nations grappling with severe impacts of global warming. This financial commitment is a beacon of hope for vulnerable countries facing the brunt of climate-related disasters. But that's not all. The COP28 agreement etched a new chapter in global climate policy by setting a landmark goal to shift away from fossil fuels.
The expansion of fossil fuel.
In a historic move at COP28, the text for the first time urged a transition away from fossil fuels to cap the global temperature rise at 2 degrees Celsius. Dubbed the UAE Consensus, this breakthrough emerged after exhaustive 2-week deliberations. Notably, until the final moments, dominant energy security narratives from powerful nations overshadowed concerns of vulnerable nations. With fossil fuels now part of the text, attention turns to implementation, necessitating a shift from individual interests to collective commitment and action. Overcoming differences on adaptation and climate financing is crucial for meeting climate targets, emphasizing the need for perseverance. As stated by Sultan Al Jaber, the agreement's true impact lies in its translation into tangible actions, a decisive factor in determining the fate of our planet.
We have confronted realities and we have set the world in the right direction. We have given it a robust action plan to keep 1.5 within reach. The agreement is only as good as its implementation. We are what we do, not what we say. We must take the steps necessary to turn this agreement into tangible actions. If we unite in action, we can have a profoundly positive effect on all our futures.
Shifting our focus to India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's announcement at COP28 underscores India's commitment. From hosting the 33rd COP summit to launching the Green Credit Initiative, India sets an exemplary standard for environmental sustainability.
हमारे यहाँ कहा जाता है कि प्रकृति रक्षति रक्षिताः, अर्थात प्रकृति उसकी रक्षा करती है जो प्रकृति की रक्षा करता है। इस मंच से मैं आह्वान करता हूं कि इस इनिशिएटिव से जुड़े, साथ मिलकर इस धरती के लिए, अपनी भावी पीढ़ियों के लिए एक ग्रीनर, क्लीनर और बेटर फ्यूचर का निर्माण करें।
India's initiatives in wildlife conservation, including Project Tiger and the International Big Cats Alliance, showcase global leadership. Simultaneously, India's commitment to clean and renewable energy is making waves on the international stage.
Equity and climate justice must be the basis of global climate action. This can be ensured only when the developed countries take the lead in ambitious climate action. Excellency, it is of paramount importance to repose our trust and confidence in the principles and process of the Convention and its Paris Agreement. Let us all reaffirm our commitment to work together for the common objective of greener, cleaner, and healthier planet. As we have one Earth, we are one family and share one future.
During his address at COP28, Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended an invitation to host the 33rd edition of the annual summit in India in 2028. Emphasizing the need for developed countries to vacate the carbon space by 2050, he advocated for global participation in India's Green Credit Initiative. This initiative, launched at COP28 and endorsed by multiple world leaders, is aimed at establishing a carbon sink.
आज मैं इस फोरम से एक और प्रो प्लैनेट, प्रोएक्टिव और पॉजिटिव इनिशिएटिव का आह्वान कर रहा हूं। यह है ग्रीन क्रेडिट इनिशिएटिव। यह कार्बन क्रेडिट की कॉमर्शियल मानसिकता से आगे बढ़कर जन भागीदारी से कार्बन सिंक बनाने का अभियान है। मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि आप सब इससे जरूर जुड़ेंगे। भारत यूएन फ्रेमवर्क फॉर क्लाइमेट चेंज प्रोसेस के प्रति प्रतिबद्ध है। इसलिए आज मैं इस मंच से 2028 में COP33 समिट को भारत में होस्ट करने का प्रस्ताव भी रखता हूं।
Introduced by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change on October 13, 2023, the Green Credit Initiative focuses on two main priorities: water conservation and afforestation. Under the scheme, specific environmental activities will receive green credits, treated as tradable commodities and available for sale on domestic market platforms. The initiative's primary objective is to incentivize significant corporations and private companies to engage in voluntary environmental actions such as tree plantation, water conservation, sustainable agriculture, and waste management. This approach aims to drive positive change in addressing climate issues faced by the country.
हम विकृति को त्याग कर पर्यावरण की समृद्धि में अपनी समृद्धि की संस्कृति विकसित करेंगे, तभी प्रकृति यानी पर्यावरण की रक्षा हो पाएगी। जिस तरह हम अपने जीवन में हेल्थ के कार्ड को अहमियत देते हैं कि भाई आपका हेल्थ कार्ड क्या है, आपका हेल्थ रिपोर्ट क्या है, रेगुलर उसको हम देखते हैं, हम कॉन्शियस है, ये कोशिश करते हैं कि उसमें पॉजिटिव पॉइंट जुड़े हैं। वैसे ही हम पर्यावरण के संदर्भ में भी सोचना शुरू करना चाहिए। हमें देखना होगा कि क्या करने से पृथ्वी की हेल्थ कार्ड में पॉजिटिव पॉइंट जुड़े, और यही मेरे हिसाब से ग्रीन क्रेडिट है, और वही मेरी ग्रीन क्रेडिट की अवधारणा है। हमें नीतियों में, निर्णयों में ये सोचना होगा कि उससे पृथ्वी के हेल्थ कार्ड में ग्रीन क्रेडिट कैसे जुड़ेगा।
India's initiative in wildlife conservation, including Project Tiger and the International Big Cat Alliance, showcase global leadership. Simultaneously, India's commitment to clean and renewable energy is making waves on the international stage.
India proudly stands among the top 10 countries in forest area, with initiatives like Project Tiger leading to the conservation of over 3,000 tigers. The International Big Cats Alliance further solidifies India's commitment to preserving iconic big cat species. Simultaneously, India continues to champion clean and renewable energy on a global scale.
The Indian energy sector is at a very transformative stage as of now. These much needed transformations are an outcome of several forces. The first and foremost being the focus of the Government of India to revamp this sector. Secondly, in meeting the global environmental norms towards sustainability. And thirdly, to provide optimally priced electricity to all types of consumers. Now, these driving forces, coupled with the availability of contemporary technologies like cloud computing, IoT, artificial intelligence, data analytics, etc., is helping us plan, design, and implement such technology-intensive solutions like advanced metering infrastructure, smart metering, smart grid, etc. India has got ambitious targets for renewable energy generation. Such technology-intensive solutions like smart grid and AMI will help integrate all the renewable energy resources also seamlessly into the entire system and will help achieve other things like demand-side management, time-based electricity, and 24/7 supply to the consumers.
Recognizing the urgency of addressing pollution, India implements comprehensive measures through the National Clean Air Program. With a focus on reducing pollution levels by up to 40% in 131 cities, advanced monitoring systems and incentives for electric vehicles demonstrate India's commitment to mitigating the harmful effects on air, water, and land.
India's dedication to environmental preservation extends to wetland conservation. With the record second largest network of Ramsar sites in Asia, India showcases a commitment to regulating water cycles, preserving habitats, and mitigating climate change impacts.
India's dedication to environmental preservation extends to wetland conservation, boasting the second largest network of Ramsar sites in Asia with 75 wetlands. Designating and preserving these wetlands of international importance showcases India's commitment to regulating water cycles, preserving habitats, and mitigating climate change impacts.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's emphasis on climate adaptation at COP28 and India's participation in global initiatives like the Battery Energy Storage System Consortium and the Global Biofuel Alliance highlights India's global leadership in sustainable technologies.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi at COP28 emphasized India's commitment to climate adaptation, projecting an expenditure of over 57 trillion rupees in the next 7 years. Joining the Battery Exchange Storage Systems Consortium and launching the Global Biofuel Alliance further positions India as a global leader in advancing sustainable technologies.
हमने वैश्विक स्तर पर रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी को 3 गुना करने की प्रतिबद्धता जताई। भारत ने ऑल्टरनेट फ्यूल्स के लिए हाइड्रोजन के क्षेत्र को बढ़ावा दिया और ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल्स अलायंस भी लॉन्च किया। हम मिलकर इस नतीजे पर पहुंचे कि क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस कमिटमेंट को बिलियन से बढ़ाकर कई ट्रिलियन तक ले जाने की आवश्यकता है।
Now let's focus on India's National Green Hydrogen Mission. Unveiling its potential as a clean fuel source, the mission aims for 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen production by 2030, attracting significant investment and creating jobs at the same time.
As the world grapples with the challenge of climate change, India unveils its National Green Hydrogen Mission. Recognizing hydrogen's potential as a clean fuel source, the mission aims to achieve 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen production by 2030, attracting investments of over 8 lakh crore rupees and creating over 6 lakh jobs.
हमारा लक्ष्य 2030 तक एमिशंस इंटेंसिफाई को 45% घटाना है। हमने तय किया है कि नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल का शेयर हम बढ़ाकर 50% करेंगे और हम 2070 तक नेट जीरो के लक्ष्य की तरफ भी बढ़ते रहेंगे। ये एक शब्द है लाइफ।
As we bid farewell to 2023, the year of climate records and global initiatives, it's evident that both challenges and solutions are on the rise. From international collaborations to India's pioneering efforts, the commitment to a sustainable future echoes globally.
Let's hope the seeds planted in 2023 will blossom into a greener, cleaner and more sustainable world in the years to come. This concludes our environmental wrap-up for the year 2023. Thank you for joining and keep watching DD India. Namaskar.